Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Crushin' Cans on Habs tonight. I'm Brandon Legacy, joined here with Derrick Weise. Derrick, how's it going today, buddy?
It's going pretty good. How about you, bud?
Good, buddy. I know it's a new tradition we're starting, so I think it's time to crack that first can.
We'll get her going here.
Nice.
Ooh.
To get things going, you texted me this morning that you were going golfing, and you included a screenshot of the weather. How was that?
It was something else. minus 3, 70-kilometer-an-hour wind. So we were the only ones there. Only ones. I thought the place was closed.
That's gonna be freezing. Like when you swing a baseball bat or something, it just vibrates with the hands.
Oh yeah, you couldn't feel the hands after about 4.
I love that. But hey, taking the young fellow out for golf. It's Good Friday. We forgot. We thought it was Saturday all day. We were going to go to the beer stores and get some craft beers, but we are amateurs, and it's Good Friday. So happy Good Friday to everybody out there. Thank you for taking some time tuning in to the show with us. I know some people have family commitments and stuff, but thank you if you are watching. We really do appreciate it. Yeah. We'll get right into the Habs, I think, to start.
They're hot. They're rolling.
They're hot right now. They got 3 in a row. They're 4-0-2 in their last 6. I want to get your thoughts on some of that.
Yeah, you got to think the quarantine did more good than harm. They came out, they're flying. Aside from the last second goal, they're almost 2 shutouts in a row. Goalies are on point. The top line's going. Tatar's got going. He's been on fire.
I remember that. Hey, Justin, how's it going? I remember you called that out that last episode too. Like Tatar's got to get going, and now he has. And another thing as well is that top line of Danault, Gallagher, and Tatar on fire.
And you got to think with Toffoli out, he comes back in. He's been lights out all year. That's going to be big time, especially down the stretch here.
Exactly, and yes, I agree. Benoit's the last 2. They've got 2 4-goal games in a row, only 1 goal against. So they're 8 goals for, 1 against. Cheers, Jen. Appreciate that. It's just something's clicking, and you said it right. Like after the quarantine or the COVID shutdown there, some teams after a long break will be a little bit rusty coming back, but it seems like it did the Habs well.
Maybe they did some Zoom calls or something. Maybe they, crushed some cans. You never know.
Crush some cans with the boys on Zoom.
Absolutely.
That was their practices. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that is coming up really soon is trade deadlines 10 days away. And last episode, we were joking around like we're not stats guys. We prepared some stats today. We got real numbers.
Look out.
If we use the numbers, that's to be seen, but still.
You think Montreal makes any moves?
I don't know if Montreal makes moves, and hear me out on this. I see Eric Stahl coming in, so you're bumping a guy out. You got Armia still out with the COVID protocol. He's got to bump somebody out. Potentially a Cole Caulfield. I imagine. I don't know if he's going to be a regular, but I think one deal he had with Bergevin is similar to Ryan Poehling. Like he plays 1 game to burn that entry-level contract. So I don't know if they make a move. I've seen some rumors today about Lehkonen possibly going St. Louis for a done, but once again, that's a rumor. Don't quote us. But do you think they do?
What if Caulfield comes up for that 1 game and does what Poehling did, scores a hat trick? You know what I mean?
The expectations.
Do you play the hot hand, say game 1 in the playoffs?
I tend to agree just because, the guy is supposed to be a natural goal scorer, and if he does come up and does score, you can't take him out. It's tough.
I would say if you're playing the Leafs, give him a shot. But I think the Jets, being the heavy team that they are, there's not going to be a lot of room. And I think he needs a little bit of space to get going, get that confidence. But
I do agree, especially like the Leafs or let's say in Edmonton. That's somebody like you could put him in. The Jets, you're right, 100%. They're a big, heavy team. Crushin' Irish coffee, that's fine. Hey, you don't have to have an alcoholic beverage on the show. Just
Irish
a beverage of your
good
choice.
Too. Oh, cheers, Chris.
Cheers, Chris. Hey, but with the deadline of Montreal, I like the way they're built right now because there's so many question marks. Like, who do you play? Because it's such a deep roster now that we don't know who's going to come in or out of the lineup when Stahl's ready.
You're getting 3 guys in. So that essentially is your deadline accusation, right?
Yeah.
They got Stahl. They did it early, get him through the quarantine. So while other teams make the deals, this guy's already in playing chemistry, not waiting for the 7 days after, where he could come in on the, say, third game in 4 nights where the boys are gassed. He's ready to go. Well, that's not going to help you, right?
No, I agree 100%. It's a real smart move by Bergevin. He essentially uses his own assets as his like rental in a way.
Yeah.
But we'll switch to other teams here for the deadline because we looked at. Well, I can't say we. Derek prepped this a bit. He looked at some of the top contenders and their cap spaces. I mean, some people may not believe the numbers here, but it is actually quite wild. Some of these teams.
The Islanders have $8 million. That team is good.
And with Lee out, they need a left wing, and they got the money.
Taylor Hall.
Does Lou bring him in? Who knows? Another team you highlighted was Colorado Avalanche. It may not seem like they have cap space. They got 8.5.
That's unbelievable. Like I watched them the other night. They scored 4 goals in 2 minutes, and they brought up a stat at intermission that's the 4th fastest in franchise history. 4th in 2 minutes. What's the fastest?
Because what's his name? Donskoy had a hat trick in less than 4. Was that what it was?
He's so good. I love him.
I picked him up after that night. Not gonna lie.
He won't score. He won't score for 6 games now. No, he was really good back when the Sharks went to the final that year. He got hot. He got that third line going. What he's doing now. I mean, they got Brandon Saad there too. He's playoff clutch guy. Look at him what he did in Chicago, right?
Exactly. And then you got Nazem Kadri. I love the way Colorado's built, especially on the back end. Their prospect pool is insane. McKinnon's on a team-friendly contract. I think, Jive Montreal just pointed that out. Thank you.
He's $5,000 lighter too, by the way.
Yeah, $5,000. That helmet cost. I sent. I'm sure somebody in the chat might have seen it. That tweet with McKinnon throwing the helmet, but it's a Pokeball caught a wild Garland.
That
died.
was so funny. That was so funny.
But
I've seen a few of them.
The Avalanche, $8.5 million. They can make a move. I'm not sure what they're going to fill or what they want, but they got the room to do it if they'd like.
The Jets have 3.5. I don't see them doing anything.
No, you don't like a depth player, maybe, or they're rolling so good right now.
No, and they're loving that 4th line with Perreault, Lewis, Thompson. They're loving that. Third line's always going. Top 6 is, I'd say, top 3 in the league, if not. You know, when they're on fire, they're on fire. You can't stop those guys.
And I see somebody pointed out too in the chat. We do have this one written down is Florida. The year they're having, they got $8.9 million in cap space.
You think they got to go out and get a defenseman though?
You have to. You got to fill Ekblad.
That's a big piece, and he was having a great year. Barkov will be back soon.
Yeah, and I was going to say, with the Predators now winning 6 in a row, do you think they let up Ekholm? Like if Florida's looking, I think they got to move on from Ekholm if the Preds are sitting there.
Depending what you're being offered though, right? You don't want to hamper your chances going into the playoffs if the deal isn't there for you, because you lose him for something like that. Because what we were looking at here earlier.
Because the Preds have the leverage here, yeah. Because if they're in the cusp of making playoffs, they don't have to get rid of Ekholm.
No,
they're there for one more year, so they have the leverage of teams have to pay what they want if you get rid of them.
You always see at the deadline too, teams overpay.
Yeah,
way overpay.
Got to make that money move. Another team was the Carolina Hurricanes. $7 million in cap space, and they've got 3 goalies right now. They got to move one, you'd think.
Tavo's out though.
That's true.
He's 5.2. So that leaves them $2 million.
$2 million, move one goalie out.
Laine gone.
I don't know if Laine depends. Like his value, his stock has gone down so much that I don't know if it'd be worth Columbus's time right now.
What they're going to ask for everything though if they're sending him out.
That's true because he's RFA, yeah. So they have. They hold he's not a UFA this summer.
I don't think so.
So he essentially they still kind of own him this summer because RFA, not UFA. That's an interesting one. Reimer to the Leafs. That's the three goalie thing we were talking about earlier.
We actually did talk about that. That's
You're-
funny.
If you're Reimer's agent, there's no way you're like.
But he's a more well-rounded goalie now. He knows the media there, so it's not like a new guy coming in going to be overwhelmed with it. It is COVID, so there's, you know what I mean? Yeah. You don't really, it's not as much in and out. And I think media availability's changed a little bit too, right? Might be a good fit.
It might be too, but this is all on Anderson as well. We don't know how hurt Anderson is. I don't even know if the Leafs know yet. So if Anderson ends up being fine, Anderson, Campbell, I think I can carry them.
Jack Campbell's
on fire. Yeah. 7-0. And he's playing the Jets tonight, I assume.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah. Jets are good on after losing a game. I think they're 9-1-1.
Okay.
So they're going to come out flying games here in Winnipeg. So, and that's a big 2 points for them too.
Mm-hmm. And I got to give you credit because you gave me this info too. Was if the Leafs, let's say they are looking for a goal, they got to go somewhat cheap just because they're cap restraints, right? You mentioned Wedgwood in Jersey, $700,000.
Jersey's out of it.
Yeah,
I don't think they're making a run.
So if you're a team looking for a backup goalie, Wedgwood at $700K has got to be appealing.
Oh yeah, he's looked good. I mean, Jersey's been shit, but I mean he's looked okay. If you get 50 shots and you're making 45 saves, that's take what you get, right? It's not bad.
Not stats guys, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, if you put him on a team where, say, Boston, who allows, I think, something around like 26, 27 shots a game, if he's got to make 25 saves, lets in 2, Boston can score. They have $6 million cap room too.
Yes, they do. And you hear rumors of DeBrusque available. Boston doesn't seem to be doing like that big. Thanks, James, for the $1.49. Appreciate that. With the Bruins, they don't seem to always do that big splash, right? It's always like that middle six guy, like the sneaky good Charlie Coyle deal.
They
got room.
Do they mess with that though?
I don't know because it seems like
they have those games in hand.
Yeah.
So if they get those games in hand, get those wins, they're right up there with Pittsburgh, Islanders, Caps.
Yes, and I'll touch on one thing just before we move away from like some trade deadline stuff is the UFA goalie market. The UFAs this summer, you have them written down here. I want to listen to a couple of them to see maybe what chat thinks as well. If you're a team looking for a goalie and these goalies are UFAs, do you go for them this summer?
You got Tuukka Rask coming up, Pecorine, Anderson, Dubnyk, Antiranta, Reimer, Gruby, Mrazek, Bernier, Rittich, Hutton, Allmark, Nielsen, Halak. I would take Halak any day of the week. I think that guy's a starter.
Oh, I know. It's like it's similar to like a Jake Allen where it's like if he's not a starter, he's right there. You know what I mean?
He was a starter in St. Louis and then
I know that.
Right? So yeah. But if I'm Montreal, you got him locked up. If you needed another guy, would you trade him?
I don't know. I wouldn't.
Because you got Primo down there. He's waiting to go.
Yeah, Bert said he wanted him played X amount of games before he came up to the pros. Ekholm still traded. We just touched on that, Rainey. I'm sorry. It's we don't think so. Not if Nashville's in the midst, and if they are in close to getting in, Derek thinks like they hold the leverage and like teams got to way overpay.
Just to go back quick to Primo playing those games in the A. Remember when Zach Fucale was the next guy?
Mm-hmm.
He's down in the A, I think, with Tampa now or something.
He played. No, where was it?
Played somewhere. I think he's in the A.
Capitals. See, we tried to get stats right, but hey,
I'll sell it though.
With coming back to the North Division, which most people do pay attention to, is Vancouver right now with the COVID situation. Obviously, we send prayers out to that team. We hope everybody gets healthy, happy. Yeah, it's just signed in Washington. Thank you. I knew I read that somewhere. But with Vancouver, obviously, well wishes to them. They are people, not just hockey players. We voice that a lot on Twitter. Right now, with that schedule, what are you thinking? Like
win percentage.
Yeah.
There's no way you make up 8 games. No way.
No.
There's no room unless you're doing 4 and 4.
Yeah, and Montreal's already done playing with Vancouver, but this has got to impact the whole division because I don't think they're going to get to 56 games because they're already pushing playoffs back as it is.
Yeah, and what are you going to do? Let them play 3-4 games at the end while other teams sit? Because then you have say the playoffs are set and you still have to play these games. They won't matter maybe for, I guess, draft rank standings or whatever. But if you're, say, the Leafs, you don't play them and you're sitting there while you're playing the Jets or the Oilers first round. Well, the Oilers gets them back-to-back. Oilers are fresh coming in. You're sitting there for a week.
Or you have the potential of possible injuries in a mean nothing game just to get those games in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you're going to sit everybody. Well, you can't really do that. So
no, I'm just happy we're not working for the NHL schedule making or rule makers.
No.
So we did announce today on our Twitter was that we were going to do a giveaway and use a special word, and I think we're going to hold on to that word just a bit longer. So
Halfway,
we didn't forget.
Maybe around the half an hour mark, we'll throw something out there.
Yeah. It will be fairly obvious, but we are still doing the giveaway. Make sure you retweet the Habs Tonight giveaway tweet on Twitter. I can say tweet Twitter about 8 more times. That'd be fantastic.
Just rolls off the tongue for you.
Okay. We had that our pre-show meeting, and one thing you pointed out to me that I wasn't even looking at, because honestly, I pay a lot of attention to the North Division. I don't know. I can't pay attention to the other division. It's so tough. Is the Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Penguins, their games left. You want to get into that?
Yeah. They're tied for first right now. I think Caps have a game in hand on them and the Islanders, 36. They're at 37. But they have 5 games against the Devils left, 4 against Buffalo, 3 against Philly, 2 against the Rangers, and 2 against Washington. So 9 games against Jersey and Buffalo. With the way that team is, I mean, you got to think those are almost – you're going to go more than – I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say 7-2, 8-1.
And that should put them in the playoffs, correct? You'd think?
Yeah, 100%. So. I think the top 3 in that division they're in already. Because Boston's got games in hand. They're at 41 points. And then you got the tire fire of Philly and then the Rangers. So they're not catching up.
Going back to our first episode, the Philly hot take you have, that was solid. You predicted that last week. A week ahead of time, you're like, Buffalo's beating Philly.
That was 5 games ahead, too.
Yeah. That's
nailed
wild.
It.
Now, so Pittsburgh makes it. And you said one thing about Sid that I want you to reiterate with the fans because it's how many just one. Unfortunately, Jen, I just can't speak. I appreciate that though. I like the friendly ribbing. But the Sid thing.
Yeah, I just the way he's got the mentality, the way he's got that room in the winning culture around Pittsburgh where every year is their year, right? It's not like a team that's just trying to get over that hump to get in the playoffs. Everybody in that room believes, like, we get in, this is our year. We have a team. And it's the mindset, right? You're not stuck in a place where you're Buffalo where, okay, maybe this year, maybe we win or get in the playoffs. Like, you're just hoping to get there. Whereas this team, regardless of where they are, who's on the team, it's cup or bust.
Yeah. And like you said, it doesn't matter what the lineup is. Sid, Letang, Malkin just find a way we can start adding Gensel into that one, I think, too, and Rust. Like, they got a little core nucleus, not as good as it used to be, but every year that winning culture is there.
And when Rust got traded there, or not Rust, was it Zucker last year?
Yeah, Zucker.
He wasn't really, he was having a decent year, but he comes over, contributes right away. Away. And you hear the stories of every practice is like a game. It's full speed. It's intense. Like, there's no days off there. And you see it.
You see those practice videos, like, just because I'm East Coast, I see it quite a bit, is you'll see McKinnon, Sid, and Marchand Praxton in the summertime, and it's just like a little battle drill, and they are all going like 100,000%. And it wears off.
Well, you see all three of them every year, right? They're top of the stats. Their teams are at the top, and it just you work hard, and it's infectious, right? People want to be around you, and they want to win.
I can't help but laugh. James asked what everybody's crushing tonight, and then I see Steffi's comment here. Look at this.
There you go.
Tequila. Ooh. I know Alyssa's going to be pumped up about all this Pittsburgh talk too, but hey, you got to give where credit. Like you got to give credit where it's due.
It's true. You're lucky that.
Yes. See, that's the thing too, because they've just been rotating goalies.
Well, and then
that is brave.
There was rumors too that they were looking at bringing Fleury back, but Vegas is not giving him up. Not a chance.
Mm-mm.
You almost
not
think Leonard. It's almost like Leonard's the guy out now.
And Vegas has done this. They will sign guys to deals, and if they don't want them anymore or they don't like them,
yep.
Little whistle there. That might have been a little loud. Sorry.
I liked it though.
I didn't mean to go that loud. I have Vegas in our notes too. I noticed this last night. They played the Minnesota Wild. They dressed 18 players, 16 skaters, because they are in cap hell now that Pietrangelo's back.
Yeah, I don't. Do you think they make a move then just to free it up, or?
I don't know.
And Reeves was hurt; he was out. And
that's what I mean.
You know he's getting back in the lineup. They're not playing without that guy.
No, you need Reeves 100%. You can't work out. No, you can't, Ian. I have a lot of friends and family in Nova Scotia. They are worker bees. See, I just no words working. 0 words are working tonight.
You thought it was Saturday.
We thought it was Saturday.
Thought it was Saturday.
Not words, guys. So we do tonight. We're going to try something new tonight. Tonight we're going to get some call in. So if anybody that is interested in joining us for a little chat, it could be anything you want to talk about. Email live@habsnight.com. We're going to be more interactive.
Or even questions. I think it'd be fun. Even questions on the chat too.
Questions in the chat. Fire away. Whoa. Speaking about Vegas playing Minnesota Wild.
Cost me a pro line last night.
I got Kaprizov, so I was pretty happy with the outcome.
Like he's unreal. He's dynamic. Just every single time he's on the ice.
Yeah. And one thing as well is you pointed out Talbot.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like goalies go there and they find life all over again.
Yeah, Dubnyk did it.
Yeah, I it's unbelievable. Even back, we were talking earlier about the Fernandez and Rolison way back, like when that team had no business going through the playoffs, and they did. Something in that Minnesota water.
But they're a team right now where they just beat Vegas. They're most likely in playoffs. And if they start rolling and Talbot stays where he is, they could be a sneaky team.
They're 4 points back of Colorado and Vegas. There's no, if few injuries here or there, that team can climb right up.
That is true. And I like the way they're built. Just
what if
something about them.
Let me throw this at you. What if they finish first and you get Colorado Vegas first round?
Ooh. I like that though.
How many people have one of those two teams going all the way?
I put Colorado right up there with Tampa, because you got to remember Tampa's getting Cooch back for playoffs, and they're rolling.
Vasilevsky's just lights out. He's Vezina candidate already for sure. You see his numbers, crazy.
Chad, if you had to say your top 2 contenders, let us know what you guys think, because I'm going to say Colorado versus Tampa, if I had to say it. And I'm a massive Habs fan, but it's just they're too good right now, I think.
I love Colorado. I love the way that team plays. It's crazy, but I'm gonna say Vegas, Carolina.
Vegas, Carolina. I don't hate that pick either. Carolina, I find, and do you notice that it's ever since Rod Brindamore's been in there?
Rod the Bod.
Yeah, he just seems like you'll see some clips
Tampa,
and stuff.
Vegas. Dan thinks
I like
Tampa,
that.
Vegas. Go with Tampa to go back to back though. That's tough. That's a lot of hockey.
That'd be impressive, but they're playing the whole year without Cooch. Edmonton, Vegas. Imagine McDavid, Stanley Cup final.
So here's the thing. We talked about this off a few times, and I've always said I'm pretty sure the North Division goes west. That West Division is going to get home ice. The North Division is going to go sit in a hotel. That's gotta get in your head, right? They're not going to play in a neutral site.
No,
and
then you fans.
And I can't see them letting people over the border for say 5, 6, 7. That's not happening.
I wonder if the North teams would be able to bring families down.
The wife's all on the Colorado train. She's all
their jerseys are sick, so how can you not?
I actually found my Nordiques toque.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, 3 weeks after the Tahoe game there. Awesome.
Washington, Colorado. Washington's another team. If they get in, like Ovi, the Russian machine, Tampa, Vegas. I saw another one. Vegas, and Ian Patterson took Vegas in his preseason pick. That's good. Watch out for Buffalo. They're on the move. That's my father-in-law.
Yeah,
he's a big Bruins fan.
I thought they were going to string together 2 wins last night, and then Skinner breaks his stick or goes on a breakaway with no stick.
I know. I was wondering what he's going to do. Like, is he actually going to try to kick it in the net, or is he just going to?
I think the league would have gave it to him at that point.
Cheers, Zach. That's a buddy from Fredericton here.
I think Stahl slides in Monday night. Third line.
You think third line? Wing?
Third line, and then let him
just kind of fill him in like a 13th forward.
Yep. Let him see who you got chemistry with, and then just kind of go from there, right?
Yeah. My opinion is I don't know if you take Evans out for a game, rock Stahl 4C, just because Kotkaniemi's been lights out the last few games.
But how much is your fourth line going to play against the Oilers, though?
Right, maybe a fair amount if they do that shadow thing again.
Stahl's going to watch McDavid? Yikes.
No, they'll do the Deneau against St. I love the New Brunswick in the chat. Thank you, guys.
You're getting a lot of East Coast love here.
I love that. Well, East Coasters, it's a Friday, so I know everybody's crushing a few cans or bottles, depending what.
You guys are already in prime time out there.
Yeah, we are.
Speaking of relocate to Quebec. Florida, no. Arizona, I can't see them moving a team. I don't know.
You almost just got to go expansion.
Yeah. I would love to see the Nordiques come back. Them and the Whalers. That'd make some good Saturday nights, though. Habs, Nordiques again. Yeah. It'd be wild. Quebec City, be a bad time. We'd have to reallocate the divisions all over again.
Habs Bruins, great game day with the father-in-law. I know it would certainly be interesting. He's normally gone down south in the wintertime, so we don't normally watch games together, but it would be interesting for sure because he's got like the Bruins stuff at the house. He's got like the headrest in his truck because he's got the Bruins logo. So he's a massive Bruins fan.
How much do you miss that, though? Bruins Habs Saturday night.
I know. I miss it a ton.
You need that. Or these random games that you don't really get to see, like Montreal, San Jose for me. That's always like, here we go. It's awesome. But you don't get it, right? And then when it does start, it's at 9:30. But
yeah.
Take
Stahl,
a nap,
KK
right?
to Foley. That would be a sweet line. And if KK starts losing draws, Stahl can take the draws.
Yeah, I think you'll see that in playoffs too, where he'll come on maybe for a draw, and if he wins it, take right off or maybe slide to the front of the net, something like that. Because he's had some good, even in Minnesota last year. Like he was used down low. He's a big body. He's good. His hands are good.
I like that too because I was just about to say thing. Oh, PEI, another East Coaster. I love the Maritimes here. Is Corey Perry this year for his deal, and with how like you said, Eric Stahl in Minnesota. Eric Stahl was before he went to Buffalo this year. He's still putting up points. He's still valuable. Like he's an NHL player still.
Perry's one of those guys that he's just consistent. Everyone will pick, here and there on what he does wrong. He's dirty here and there, but I mean, come on. Some of the top guys get away with stuff and here and there, and it is what it is.
I just like when you see
that guy will go. Oh, that was a good crack. He'll go through a wall for you in playoffs. He will go through a wall for you. You need
And
that.
anytime he gets the puck out front, like it's got like it seems like it's 70-80% chances he's going to put it in somehow, or he's going to bank it in. Like I love the Perry addition. I don't think you can take him out of the lineup. I think Stahl, I don't think when he starts playing, I don't think he's going to be taken out of the lineup either.
It's world championship chemistry right there.
Yeah.
Telling you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Even with Perry though, it'll be like a 0-0 game. That guy will run someone through the boards and tuck one in, wrap around or something. Everyone will get fired up, and you know what I mean? Then maybe it lights Suzuki, lights KK, and just gets the boys going. Because this team seems that when they get on a roll, they score in bunches, right?
Mm-hmm. And one thing that just made me think of something was the addition of Weber, like that winning mentality. I know Webbs doesn't have a Stanley Cup, but he's got like the Olympics and like the leadership. You bring in Corey Perry, and now you bring in Eric Stahl with Carey Price on top of that. That's got to be the best. And this is not chirping Habs teams of years prior. This has got to be one of the best dressing rooms they've had in a long time.
Yeah.
For leadership and like Stanley Cup and Olympic, like just the experience and veteran leadership, it's got to be the best dressing room in my opinion.
I think too, if it comes down to say like a game 6, if you're down 3-2, those guys have everybody calm, ready to go, and you need that, right? It's the same, especially going through their schedule down the stretch into the playoffs. There's going to be a lot of ups, lots of downs, and when you get in, it's either you might be banged up a little, but it's playoffs, right? You're in the dance. Anything can happen here.
That's true, and that's what the follow-up point up. Just missing Weise in the dressing room. Yeah,
there you go.
The glue guy. You need the glue guy.
Get him in there. Hey, Devin, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Dev. I see one here. Bit of trivia. Can you guys name all the Stanley Cup champs on our team currently? There are 6 champs.
Perry, Stahl.
Edmondson, Allen.
It's 4.
Up front. Toffoli.
Yeah. 5.
And who's on D? No. It's another forward, has to be. Frolik. Thank you, Justin. I cheated. I looked at chat.
Ooh.
Frolik, yeah, it was Chicago.
I wouldn't have guessed that though.
No. I was just running through names. But I thought of Petrie, then I was like, Edmonton.
Beautiful man.
Dale loves it when you do that too.
Oh yeah.
I almost spit my beer out.
That's what I was hoping for.
So, and this, I'm trying not to make the conversation go everywhere here, is it's somewhat back to deadline, but it was kind of news this week was Ghost on waivers, Shane Gostisbehere. I thought that was a guy for sure that was moving.
I think you take him. There was a stat that came up for defenseman consecutive points because what Dougie Hamilton was doing. And I think it said that Ghost had, I think it was 2 years ago, he had a 15-game point streak. Like that was, I think, top 5 or 6 in the last, I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm. And I thought Florida might have done it. Like I thought Florida was definitely, with Ekblad out, they're like, hey, because he still has a year left on his deal. So it's not even essentially like a rental.
Not a rental. And if you have to, you put him on your, I guess there probably won't be a taxi squad, but you put him on waivers or trade him for a pick, maybe retain $1 million or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I think he's got to get out of Philly. He's got to get out of there.
I just don't know how you can do so well and drop off so much. Like, I don't watch Philly enough to know. My brother-in-law is a massive Flyers fan. Ryan, if he's watching, appreciate it. He watches the games, but I don't know what. Like, is it a defensive thing? Is he not being offensive enough? Like, I don't know.
Well, you got to remember, I think it was 2 years ago. They went on a 10-game win streak, and I'm pretty sure they had 2 10-game losing streaks. And this guy was coming off that big year. And then it was just a massive fall off. He was minus players. He was on for goals, like all over the place. And I guess after that, they don't trust him out there anymore. And once I think you lose trust in a guy, maybe his confidence is a little rattled and he can't find it. If he scored 2-3 goals, 3 games in a row, got back on a point streak, gets his confidence back, the guy can still skate. Like, he can fly.
Exactly. And my point is, he's done it before. Obviously, he's capable. And you may be right. It may be a confidence thing, or he may just. I know some players do this. I should word this correctly, just so it's not ragging on guys. Is maybe he's just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that contract's not untouchable. Like
No.
someone, you could trade him. It's not like you said, he's got to keep him for another year. I thought Winnipeg would take him, but then you got the two guys sitting in the A, which you could bring up. So, I mean, Heinola has been, people are begging for him to come up. The whole team is a shit show. Well, they did lose to Buffalo, so I would put Buffalo.
just two stacks of tires getting caught on fire together. Two head coaches can be. Yeah, they got who they got. They got Terry and Yo and Vino, right?
Yeah,
that's
AV.
3 head coaches.
I don't
know if it's a coaching issue because they looked good last year.
Yeah,
something's up.
I think it's a confidence. It's got to be a confidence thing. Has to be.
Carter Hart doesn't have the confidence right now. His game is completely dropped off. He's still a young goalie. He's going to bounce back.
He's got a 4-point-something goals against average. Where do you see that?
I know.
Like
Buffalo?
NHL 21, right?
But in the team's capable of being so good. Like Carter Hart, you can see a resemblance of with Montreal with Carey Price. When Carey Price struggles a year, it's like get rid of him. When it's like, no, this guy can be good.
Where's Giroux? That's a good question.
Gee.
Well,
and Voracek.
Me being the smart person that I am, I clicked on a Philadelphia Flyers thread, and there's everyone. Trade Couturier, trade Giroux. Like, they're trading everybody out of there right now. For what? I don't know.
Oh, it was like Montreal like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, trade everybody. It's over.
Trade everybody, and then as soon as they win, like it's... Anyways, we won't focus on the negativity here.
No.
But Sean McIntyre points out Jets will be looking for a D now. We spoke with this today. They got Heinola and Sammy Niku, like you just were talking about.
I don't...
Make a splash for like a 6-7 D?
What are you giving up, though?
I don't know, but you got Boley out with the rest of the season.
He's done. But he got hurt a little bit ago. They pulled him out. He was struggling a little bit, but I don't think it was bad as people made it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the whipping boy, right? So Logan Stanley's come in and he's looked sharp.
That's a guy that's like 8 feet tall, yeah?
Yeah, he's another like Tyler Myers when he came in and won the Calder. That's kind of what I see in this kid. He scored the other day, just a rocket to the shelf. Like the reach, it's like Chara, you're not going to get inside on the guy.
No.
You know what I mean? So
you just got to hope you get through his triangle.
Yeah, or you get
Speed.
a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to come 1-on-2, you're going to the other guy.
That's true. And he can, like, if he plays that 2-on-1 correctly and times his slide, I know some people hate it, but if he takes away that pass, let your Vezina caliber goaltender handle the shot. Logan Stanley lays down and extends his stick. Like, that's the whole zone. You've got a sauce pass.
14-foot reach. Like, it's huge. Watch tonight, like, especially with Toronto, where those guys come at you in waves. Like, and he doesn't back up. Like, he'll hold you up. He'll do whatever. It's good. And I think Hellebuck has a big bounce back game tonight too.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 points.
One thing you said about Toronto was they come in waves. I'm not sure if they've been doing it recently just because they've been on like a little bit of a skid, but I found Toronto is so good at getting the puck deep, keeping possession, and then they'll slowly change their lines out, get the Matthews-Marner line with that O-zone possession in a cycle. Like, I find they do it to the Habs all the time. They'll get the Habs pinned deep, keep possession, change their line as they're cycling it, and then you got a fresh line out there, and then either they end up with a goal or they end up with a power play. And then their power play, although struggling lately, can score almost any time they want.
Zach Hyman's my guy there.
Yeah?
That guy is a rock star.
Oh, Alyssa. You're just at the gym, Alyssa. It's all good.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a coffee. That's late to have one, though, out on the East Coast there, no?
7:40. She actually... I'm going to give Alyssa a little heat. She's part of the crew at Habs tonight. She sent a picture. I know there's a bunch of Canadians in here. She sent a picture of Dunkin' Donuts better than Tim Hortons to a bunch of Canadians.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't agree. But hey, I'm not sure what she had.
Teach their own. I'm not a coffee guy. I don't drink coffee though. So.
Oh, I love coffee.
Rookie mistake. Just gonna get shunned for a day.
We're 40 minutes in here, and if you've been paying attention to the little giveaway that we're doing on Twitter, there's supposed to be a secret word, and if we didn't say that word, it'd be a little bit of a shenanigan, wouldn't it?
It would be shenanigans.
Yeah, be crazy.
Fair and simple,
but
that doesn't even make sense.
I had a joke the other night with my wife. Shara I was watching the Jays game, and I cracked a Bud Light, and I just heard her yell "No" from her office because she was still working. And I was like, "Don't worry, it's a blueberry bubbly."
The other night, I believe the game started at noon.
It was afternoon for us. I'm East Coast. There's some benefits. 5 o'clock comes faster.
Fair, I guess. Yeah, it's
Might have been
noon here.
It was a little bit before 5, but it was my day off.
Did you caught the full Pronger interview, right?
Yes, that was crazy.
How good was that?
You know what impressed me, and I know he had the eye injury and stuff, is how sharp he was with his vocabulary. And
was he not involved with player safety for a bit there?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, he knows all this stuff, top to bottom.
And it's funny too, because when he came into our studio before we started, he sent an email and stuff, and he was like, "Bring your A games, guys." And I was like, "Oh boy."
Uh-oh.
I wasn't even a part of the thing, but I was so intimidated.
You turned your camera off?
Yeah, I did. I turned my camera off and muted my mic. I was like, I am not messing up.
No.
But no, Prongs was great, and I love that him and Dale have that Philly history together.
Yeah. That and the thing is they both went through it. They're both their teams, up and down. So they got to see both ends of it, right?
Yeah.
Where remember back when he was in St. Louis when he had the MVP years, he was nuts. Those teams were huge, crazy. He was killing people back then.
I know I believe it was Dale that asked the question was, as soon as Dale Olympic came out of Dale's mouth, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Because you look at some of those rosters he played with, and he listed them off. You got Mario, you got Gretzky, you got
Sakic, Yzerman.
The list goes on.
Yeah. How about when he said he has his gold medals on the other wall?
Yeah.
He's triple gold club.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at some of those guys.
Rob Blake, Joe Newendike.
Adam Foote.
Yeah. Eric Lindros. Man. That guy was a force.
He's one of the top. You got to think for D-men, he's got to be top 10, top 5 all time.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, all time.
And I'm not talking offensive, but just for what he's accomplishments, what he's done, and the guys he's played with, it's a Hall of Fame career.
You just think of the triple gold club. How many people are involved with that? That's not easy. And you know what? If Rolison doesn't get hurt in Edmonton, I think they beat Carolina.
Yeah, I remember watching that one because Cam Ward was hot.
He was a rookie.
He was good. He was good for a few years.
Man.
I remember watching that in my dad's buddy's basement. I was still young, but you're right. I used to love Rolison. Do you remember when he just he grabbed the puck with his trapper and literally just drop it and beat it out of the air?
Yeah. Actually, there was a clip going around on Twitter of Hellebuck after he stopped that shootout against Nashville or whatever, threw it up and boom.
So you go to do that. Can you imagine you miss? And the other team scores?
You just skate off you've been. Well, that's like Patty Waugh grabbing the puck and Shanahan banging it in.
It's true.
That's embarrassing.
One other thing is,
didn't he win? They still won that year, didn't he?
What's that? Patty Roy?
Yeah, they still won that year, didn't they?
I think that's one stat we did not look up.
No, I didn't know we were going this way.
Hey, we do not know where we go. I just appreciated Nick kind of hanging in with us here. Just watching 97 Wings versus Avs brawl classic. Oh yeah, that was a classic.
They had what did they have on Sportsnet the other day? They had the Game 7 St. Louis Detroit game on. Yzerman with the shot over John Casey's shoulder.
Oh yeah,
I think that's one of the greatest goals of all time.
Yeah,
that's an absolute
NHL goals.
That puck, yeah, that puck's still going, man.
That's true. It makes me think of just Joe Sakic as well. Him coming down the wing, like that shot reminds me of like a Matthews Line kind of not the same kind of shot like technique, but like the placement and just like how hard it was for that era. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Like you look at some of the duos now in the league. I wonder, like you just kind of fantasy compare this. I wonder how it would be.
It's true. So like the equipment, the gear. Yeah, Cam Talbot had a 6 save last night.
He had 2 of them.
Yeah. I was catching parts of it. That was a late night for me, 11:30 start.
Yeah, he stood on his head. They stole 2 in Vegas.
We touched on this. I see Ray's comment here is here we go.
Larceny.
Oh. And Nick, great job.
That's unreal. There's another one too. I think he went on his other side too. I think he stuck his pad out or something. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I was just gonna touch on Ray's comment just because I saw him ask a couple times. It was,
yep,
Petry's the best player hands down. Do we agree for the Habs? I think he's kind of not. I was a big guy. Like I still kind of am. I was like Petry for Norris or top 5 anyways. He's slowed down, but he's like playing more responsible game. I find
it's more of like a
compact.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's not as much running
offense,
and gunning. Yeah. But the thing is, though, the forwards are scoring. He doesn't need to push the play and whatnot, right? So,
but I do like him because him and Kulak pairing. Like if you look at the underlying advanced like stats on them, like they're some of the best 2D pairings in the league. Is Kulak and Petry, and they play so similar.
They're good. I mean, and whoever they're out against, it's normally that quick up pass and gone, right? So,
yeah, I agree. Steffi thinks Gallagher's the best player, hands down.
Well,
Steph's going to make an appearance on Cans too at some point.
Steffi's going to come on here and just state her claim right there and there.
Yeah. You're going to do a little scratch by the claw segment for people that like White Claws.
Ain't no laws when you partying with White Claws, dude. Another thing I got here too, Flames Oilers on tonight.
Ooh.
That'll be good.
What time's that start to you so I can do quick math?
I don't know. I didn't write down start times.
Must be 11 for me. 10 Eastern?
I
love a good Battle of Alberta. Is that tonight?
Yeah. And
100%.
Then you got 100% it's on tonight.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you're just kind of looking. I don't have the schedule up. No, I don't. Wait. 8 p.m. my time, so 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ram North Division stats.
The Kings tonight too. Big game for them out west. I know not a lot of people follow them.
Yeah.
They're only 4 points out.
How much cap space? I know you got that number. Yeah, it's something crazy that nobody would think about.
What do the Kings have here?
Deeksy having a Belgian moon. I appreciate that. Got a case and crushing them right now. Nice, Devin.
Woo. Devin's on the White Claws. Kings have $28 million.
28 million cap, 4 points out. They can make a move. Edmondson have an unrated season, 100%. He's leading the NHL in plus minus. Has like the whole year.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big time signing.
It is. And some people may complain about the money for essentially, I'd say in a year or two that he's going to be a 5-6 instead of like a 3-4. I know he's playing 1-2 with Weber right now, but Sherratt comes back, he gets bumped to possibly 5-6. I don't think you can split up Petry and Kulak right now.
When is Sherratt due back?
He's skating, not with the team, but he's skating. So I don't know. But Edmondson, it's a little bit high of a price tag. But what he's doing is it's kind of funny because it rhymes with his name. It's like Steady Eddie D. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, like home base defender. He's not the guy rushing it, but he's always there, blocking shots, making the first pass, getting it out, doing the penalty kill.
2 weeks-ish. Thanks,
Deeksy.
I like Sherratt too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a Winnipeg guy too. Well, not from Winnipeg, but
he was here when they were rolling. I think it was the year St. Louis beat them. Something happened. The team just fell apart.
yeah.
I can't. And no one. I don't think the story's ever come out. But like that team was rolling. I think it was the year after they lost to Vegas, and then it just all crumbled.
And I get like, is Sherratt your ideal D partner for Weber? Yes and no. Nobody would have saw him as a top pairing D man. I'll be honest, and this is not me ripping Sherratt, but to be thrown into a top pair D role where Weber is getting the best players every night, like he's playing against the top line, and you throw Sherratt in there. I actually thought Sherratt's improved, and I don't hate him being with Weber personally.
He hasn't missed a step. He really hasn't.
There he is.
There he is. Perfect. No,
Softcast. That's good.
There's another addition at the deadline. He's coming back.
Exactly. Like it's been a while. We might be repeating ourselves.
He's a mean defenseman. He is mean.
Yes, he's mean. He's tough. He broke his hand on somebody's helmet.
You know what? I've always thought he's like a Darian Hatcher type guy.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm throwing it back.
I like that.
He's a Hatcher type guy.
And
like he gets the job done, and he'll jump over and take your head off.
And he'll score the odd goals as well. Like he's got a couple OT winners, but like he will lay you out. He'll try to beat the wheels off you. I mean, he broke his hand to pieces going after, who was that? JT Miller you went after?
I think so.
Was it Vancouver? Yeah, it was JT Miller.
It was Vancouver, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can't even have a whiteout street party. I thought Mete was going to get a lot better.
Did you see those whiteout parties?
Those were one of my buddies who serves in the military. He was posting in Winnipeg, and he's back home now. I think they want to go back to Winnipeg. They loved it so much out there.
It was like the arena's right in the middle of the city, right?
Yeah.
And the party was all the way. Like it was. At first, it was like, okay, we're gonna have a few people, and then it just grew. It was nuts. They built, I love that, like, though. I think there was like there was more people outside than there was in the arena.
Because they got a smaller arena, right?
15,000. It's the same size as the Shark Tank. It's
okay.
about 15,000, but I'm pretty sure there was like 30,000 people outside.
It
was nuts.
That's the whole one thing I'm looking. Sorry, go ahead.
Nuts. Like the entire city just got on that train, and you on like even like not being the biggest Jets fan, I honestly believe like this team just rode off that energy, and I thought they were gonna go.
Yeah,
they beat Vegas game 1 in the West Final there, and it's like, oh my God, they're going, it's gonna happen, and then the Vegas train went 4 in a row.
And I love that about teams. Like you saw Montreal do it, and Dale's year was it 2015, I think it was. It's like this: the teams build off the cities, and then in turn, the city builds off of like the team's success. And that's one thing with COVID I can't wait for is cities and teams and everybody just like getting back together.
Yeah, you get the rivalries, right?
Yeah.
You get on, like, especially here, you get on a bus, you go down to Minnesota, and you get all the Winnipeg fans down there, and you have a good time, right?
Yeah. Like that's one thing. That's one trip we do, my friends and I, is I'll touch on that in just a second, is we do the Toronto versus Montreal last game of the year at the Bell Center. Like that's our annual trip. And I love, like, yes, like me personally, just because I'm a Habs fan, I'll speak as a Habs fan, is we don't like the Leafs fans, but like, it's just fun. Like everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's like having fun. Like I just miss that like camaraderie of just going to games.
Oh, absolutely.
Thoughts on Corey Schooneman? He's been very good for them in Laval. I think that's a 2-way contract, though. I think it may be one. Yeah.
Huh. I can't touch on that. That's all you.
He's playing very well for Laval. Somebody might know if that's a 2-way. Might be. I had to. They got. I don't know.
Are they going to be? They'll be in the playoffs. Yeah.
The AHL might not be doing playoffs.
What?
Yeah, they might just be doing regular season, and like Laval is ripping it up with their young guys this year. It's unfortunate, but it's nice to see finally in Laval actually developing their young guys. But Jen said she always goes to win.
Two-way.
Yeah, 2A. Awesome. Yeah, he's been playing well. I think Joel Bouchard was very happy with that one. Jen Lapointe said she goes to Winnipeg, see Minnesota.
In my mind, the Canadians
I'll
have
go see
59
Winnipeg in
Stanley
Minnesota.
Cup champions.
59 Stanley Cup champion. Awesome. So one thing we do have coming this week for Weise Wednesday, if you didn't tune into the Pronger episode, is we have Dan Carcillo coming on, who was, if I'm not mistaken, Dale's first fight, yeah?
Yeah, in Philly, game 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Dan was suffering from just like head trauma and stuff like that. So he's going to come on and talk about the issues with concussions and how he's working on improving that.
That'll be a really good interview.
It'll be interesting just because Carcillo and Dale played, I can't say similar roles, but you know what I mean? Like kind of type of thing.
Same type of player kind of thing.
Yeah. They're the third, fourth line. I mean, Carcillo is more of the grinding fighting because Dale could go up and down, but I think the respect they have for each other and what they did, it's going to be a really interesting show.
Mm-hmm. Be for We See Wednesdays, 7 Eastern start time. No, 8 Eastern start time, I believe, right?
Yeah, and Nick's giving us the yes. So 8 Eastern, we have Dan Carcillo this We See Wednesday. We have the whole Plekanec interview. Plekanec, I might be butchering that name. But the whole Plekanec interview is up on our YouTube, so check that out. It's cool. Like Plecky drops an F-bomb, which is actually kind of funny to see. And he just comes out of his shell.
He's been spending time with Yogs over in the Czech League.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out the recent interview with Chris Pronger. That one was really good.
Yeah.
And then all the other content on there. There's the Hockey Dads one on there. I think a few more of those will be coming out soon.
Autour de la Ligue with Nick and Shane. I think I pronounced that right. I did. Thank you again, Nick. And we also have a merch store coming soon.
Ooh.
We have some stuff ready, and we've got sneak peeks at it. It's awesome.
Looks real
good. We're just working out a couple kinks just so the quality and everything is what we want it to be for everybody. So we're just getting everything. What is that? Dotting your I's, crossing your T's? Did I mix that up backwards?
Nope. No, that sounds right.
Nice.
We're
I can't talk tonight. But
us at Crushin Cans here are working on getting a couple guests coming up the next couple of weeks. We've been doing some work in the backgrounds.
Yes, I'm excited. We're gonna have a few guests that
it'll be interesting. It'll be good.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away, but it has something to do with our show.
It fits the mold.
I like that. And if there's anything else you'd like to see, is like maybe, oh yeah, giveaway. It'd be just shenanigans if we didn't use that word, but
it's a good word.
Yeah. So stay tuned to Habs Tonight on all platforms, just because we are doing giveaways here.
There's the shirt.
Yeah, make sure you retweet that and use that word.
CP31. Don't forget to subscribe, put on the notifications, follow across all social media platforms.
Yeah.
And then any questions whenever, shoot us a tweet. I'm only on Twitter. Brandon.
I'm everywhere, but Twitter's where most of my time is spent.
Shenanigans gets the broomsticks. Farva's favorite restaurant, by the way.
I think that might have been okay. No.
Jeez.
I'm not a Sean Avery guy. But anyways, everybody, be safe this weekend. Thank you for spending an hour with the Crushin Cans crew. Thank you, and Nick. Tune in, like we said, Habs Tonight and everything. Subscribe to everything. Just thank you for hanging out with us for an hour on Good Friday. Just
that was
having
awesome.
A beer, talking sports.
I hope to see you next week.
Yeah, I think next week we're aiming for a Saturday. It's Habs versus Jets. Derek's in Winnipeg. So we might do like a little pregame, like essentially not a pregame show, but like pregame beer.
A pregame beer?
Yeah.
Pregame Can Crush?
Let us know if you guys like the thoughts of that. Maybe an hour before the game, we'll go on live, have a beer.
Yeah.
Talk about the game.
Sounds good. The cans are getting Saturday night.
Cans are going on Saturday night. That's a bad one.
We thought it was Saturday today.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
Cheers,
Everybody.
everybody.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, Cans.